What's up, everybody? I'm Dave Miranda, and this is episode 105 of Just Give Me 5. I hope you guys are doing great, continue to be amazing. We got a really great show for you today. But if you guys caught episode 104, you saw we had my man Ian Schwartz on. And let me tell you, I'm saying, man, like I was talking about it in the intro of his episode, you know, like I literally hit him up the day of, and we had a cancellation due to a sickness, and I was like, man, you know, like, who can I get? And I was like, man, like Ian is just one of those guys, man, like he's a meteorologist, man, but he's like also like a comedian, man. I mean, dude has just got such a personality, he's hilarious. I was like, let me hit Ian. Boom, hit him up. He was down, came through like a G, you know, and it was just awesome, man. It was really cool to meet him. Real down to earth brother, man, and you know, I was really happy we were able to get him on, you know. So shout out to you, my brother. Wish you nothing but the best and nothing less. Make sure you guys watch episode 104. All right. But today's guest is by far one of the dopest music producers to ever do it. We're going to talk about how he became a producer. We're also going to talk about some of his influences, as well as his time working with Rawkus, an incredible Dr. Dre story, and so much more. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you Slopfunkdust.
What up, everybody? This is Slopfunkdust, and all I'm saying is just give me 5. Just give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5. The 5 fingers say to the face. Not long after I started rapping, I really hated rapping over other people's beats. And I didn't have anybody to make beats for me, so I went down the road of figuring out how to make beats. And once that happened, I found out real quick I was better at making beats than I was at rapping, and kind of just went down that path.
How did it start with the rapping part?
Just being a kid growing up in the culture. You know, I started out dancing with one of my best friends. We used to be dancers, and we started rapping, b-boying, graffitiing. Pretty much just kind of, as I evolved, or as I went through each of the elements of the culture, you know, I kind of just figured out what I was good at and what I wasn't.
What was your rap name?
My first original rap name was Terrible T.
Terrible T. Okay.
And I had to change it because JJ Fad came out, and one of the chicks' name was Terrible T.
Terrible T, man. Yep.
So I started out with a group called Sounds of Silence. It was me and my man Raheem.
Sounds of Silence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, Raheem, and the homie Butter, Damon. And then Raheem introduced me to Funk Ghost, and I started working with them, Tap Ghost and Phobia. And that's kind of how I inherited my name. Funk Ghost gave me the name Slopfunkdust. Yeah, it's basically a description of the style: sloppy, funky, dusty.
Right.
Me and my man Raheem, he knew a dude named Frank Kutry that had this studio, and he had a sampler. So we got a Crusaders record, figured out what we wanted to sample, went to his studio, paid $50 an hour just to make the beat, because nobody had equipment back then.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, we got it looped up, added some drums, and what's crazy is I ended up buying my first drum machine from him for my 16th birthday. Specifically Tap Ghost and Phobia, Dirty Blonde, shout out to my man Kashim, DJ Sandman, House of Hip Hop, Edwin Velez, Blue Chair Records. It's crazy because the hip hop community that existed back then, it's still the same people in it today.
Nice, man.
So, I mean, there's a lot of new cats, but Tampa's got a real strong underground foundation. I'm glad to be a part of it. The Rawkus was crazy. I was doing Beat Society and A&R work for Soul Spasm Records at the time. And Jim Drew, who's the owner of Soul Spasm, hit me up and was like, yo, they're looking for an A&R to do a project over at Rawkus. He was like, I'm kind of busy. I can't do it. And plus, you know a lot of people. So he introduced me to Brian and Jarrett, the founders, and they offered me the job. It was kind of surreal.
Right.
Because up until that point, I mean, Beat Society was dope. No one, but it was still pretty unknown.
Yeah.
And once I got that job at Rawkus, people started answering my phone calls. It was kind of crazy.
Right.
I was A&R director, and so I was pretty much responsible for curating artist management and getting all of the metadata together, the artwork, all the music, and submitting all this stuff to the DSPs at the time. It was a lot of work, and I definitely didn't get paid enough money.
Yeah, right. Now, during this though, that's when you made the transition to Arizona, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Met a girl, came out here to do a Rawkus 50 event.
Okay.
That's where I met Atlas and Justice and Cavi and Penny and Rocky and all them dudes. But yeah, I came out here and met a chick. Came back out here like 2 weeks after to visit and never left. I did an event where I just had all the local acts come out and perform, and if I liked you, I offered you a P&D deal. I was with them for like 3 years until they filed bankruptcy and closed. I remember when the Rawkus 50 shit was going on and I was living here. I used to invite cats to my crib to just smoke blunts and listen to demos.
Yeah.
Like literally for days. It shit was crazy. Listen to 2,500 demos for that project.
All from here?
No, just from all over the country, but probably at least 20 from here. And actually, I had a listening session at a hotel where cats was coming to my room auditioning. This one dude showed up with his parents and had a dance and shit. This shit was fucking crazy. But yeah, basically the main thing I did was the Rawkus 50. And artists that were on there are still out cooking today.
Right, right.
Kind of crazy. All the people that were a part of that Odyssey, Kev Brown finale, Roddy Rod.
Yeah.
There were beats and verses from everybody on that thing.
Right.
Had some Justice League cats on there, Legacy. Yeah, a lot of cats, man. That shit was fun.
It's a lot.
So like in the sense of like big names, Cannabis on the Sea of Tranquility album, me and J Biz did it. I did Midnight Marauders remix for Sean Price, Helter Skelter. I did Shaq on Stilts on Danny Brown's The Hybrid. Co-produced Change the Rap Game with Ill Mind on Ludacris album. Shout out Ill Mind. Yeah, I mean, I got joints with Apathy, Self-Titled, Drez from Black Sheep, Jerobi from Tribe Called Quest. Like, it's a long list, man.
Were any of these like done in studio with you, or were a lot of them just kind of sent over?
A lot of them were sent back and forth. The majority of them. Yeah, most of the time I'm cooking the beat. I mean, I can remember studio sessions with other producers, like co-producing beats together more than I can like.
Were you with Illmind when you guys worked on that?
Yeah, Illmind took me to Dr. Dre's studio, Record One in LA. So Illmind called me and he was like, yo, I'm gonna be out in LA, just kind of gonna rent a studio for like a week and just kind of work.
Yeah.
He was like, come out.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. I go out to LA, we're just bullshitting around. It was the next day, he comes in the room and I'm thinking like, all right, today I'm like getting my shit together, I'm gonna leave tomorrow. He goes, yo, I just got the call going to Dre's. I'm like, what?
Right.
He's like, yeah, man, just got the call, man. They want me to come down, da 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 da. I was like, well, shit, man, let me figure out what I'm finna do then. He was like, no. He said, we are going to Dre's. So I was like, yo. So we went, cooked up a bunch of beats, and then Dre had to leave early. Okay. So he didn't get to hear anything. So it was cool. We got to meet him, and then he dipped. And then later on that night, we're back at the studio that we were staying in. Yeah. He goes, just got the call again. We going back tomorrow. So I called my boss at work. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be at work tomorrow, and honestly, I might not be back this week. You know, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, you're not gonna believe this, you know. So we go back to the studio that night, and then at the end of the night, Dre has all the producers come into the big room and go through what you cooked up. And either he's like, next, 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 or he'll tell his assistant, you know, put that on the drive. And it was kind of, I knew we had cooked up some fire, but just hearing all the other producers' stuff in the rooms kind of intimidating. But when
faces in there, you
Cardiac, Focus, it was
nasty.
man, it was a
Very similar to Dre too.
the DOC was there that night. It was just, it's a constant rotation of people coming in and out. So anybody you can possibly think of could have been in there. Most of the time we were just hunkered down in the room, not really paying attention to that. But yeah, at the end of the night, we played our beats for Dre, and he put all three of them on the drive. So, and one of those beats ended up being the Change the Rap Game on the Ludacris album. So yeah, that was crazy, man. I sent my boss a picture of me and Dr. Dre just so he knew I wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah, right. That's awesome, man.
It's like my most liked pic on Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. Back in March 2020, when the pandemic started, we started, me, Soundtrack, Zenon, Backwood Wonder, Antrix, and DJ Flow, all the Battle Ave Oakland cats. Started jumping on Zoom because we were bored, and we figured out how to line in the audio, and started inviting our friends and started the session in. For people that don't know, it's an online producer showcase with 50 plus regulars and residents. Everybody's been on our show, from Just Blaze to Super Dave West to Buck Wild, Ski Beats. Like, if you name them, they've probably been on our show. Now that the pandemic is curving, it's not over, but now that we're back outside, we're gonna start what's doing called a session out, where we take what we did online and start doing it in venues. We got some shit lined up already that we're working on. Not really gonna let the cat out of the bag yet, but got a vinyl coming out in January for Session In, 28 producers.
You got the homie Theory Hazard working with you, right?
Yeah, Theory's down with the gang. There's a lot of cats, man. Donnell Smokes, Spec the Kid, Soundtrack's down with us, Landscape, Keith Bueno, Eddie James, man, a lot of cats, man.
Solo that you're working on as well?
I got a couple of beat tapes that I'm working on. As you know, I did the Protoculture season with Mega Ran and Penny. So I'm doing a Gundam beat tape. It's just Gundam flips. And I think we're gonna start work. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna start working on Protoculture season 2 soon. What's crazy is I made all those beats in 2013.
I was about to say, it's been a minute.
Yeah, they're old as hell. Penny used to come to my crib and I just flip Robotech joints. And then I guess through the pandemic, they got bored and recorded it. No, I'll never forget though, Penny called me, he was like, yo man, check your email. I'm like, all right. Just start hitting play. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so now big up to them brothers, man. They're the ones that came together and really made that shit happen. I try to give that love back, you know. I definitely go out of my way to help people. And people have gone out of their way to help me, and to know that I got a whole community, man, like the whole Writers Guild, you, Rock, Chaz, Penny, Ran, and I got a whole family here. So no, it feels great, man. And it's one of the things I appreciate about being a part of this culture and this art form. The love. All right, y'all. So my name's Slopfunkdust. That's my 5. Peace.
And there you have it. Man, shout out to my brother Slop. You know, Slop rarely does interviews. And he was in town, and that's my brother. I was like, yo, we got to get you on the show. We were chopping it up at our 2-year anniversary party, and I said, man, let's make this happen. He pulled up, and here it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, known Slop for a real long time, man. He's part of my Writers Guild squad. Man, it was a blessing to have you on the show, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I wish you nothing but the best, nothing less. Make sure you guys are following him on social media. And shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson on the camera. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, make sure you hit that bell notification so you get notified on all the upcoming episodes, all right? Okay. Well, this was definitely one for the books. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy, and just give me 5, y'all.
Everything you get, you got